Joe Rogan just destroyed Dylan Mulvaney in a new podcast episode that he did with Ice Cube, calling him mentally ill and an attention whore. Let's go over this real quick from Outkick. It says Joe Rogan, Dylan Mulvaney is mentally ill and an attention whore. Joe Rogan isn't a fan of Dylan Mulvaney in the aftermath of the Bud Light disaster. Bud Light is still attempting to save itself after making the incredibly stupid decision to team up with Dylan Mulvaney. And by the way, Dylan Mulvaney is having meltdowns on his own Instagram, saying that Bud Light didn't support him enough after the Bud Light ad campaign, which is also just going into more of the fact that he is an attention whore, and there's just no doubt about it, and also mentally ill. But that's been obvious since the jump, since we found out about Dylan Mulvaney, and Dylan Mulvaney went viral on TikTok and all the rest of it. We knew that he was mentally ill this whole time. The fact that he is complaining that Bud Light didn't support him enough after the ad campaign is hilarious to me. I guess the hundreds of thousands of dollars that Dylan Mulvaney was paid to do that ad campaign, that, you know, we did find out, by the way, that was a brand deal, even though Brendan Whitworth, the CEO of Bud Light, lied about it and said that it wasn't a brand deal whenever he went on TV. Dylan Mulvaney exposed in his own video that it was actually a brand deal between Mulvaney and Bud Light. So that's pretty hilarious that he got paid hundreds of thousands, and now he's saying that they didn't support him enough and didn't support the trans community enough. Let's check out what Joe Rogan says about Dylan Mulvaney right here. Rogan initially didn't seem to care about the Mulvaney collab when it first happened, but his tune has since changed. The popular podcaster made it clear that he's not a fan of Mulvaney and thinks a transgender influencer just wants attention. And here is the quote from Joe Rogan right here about Dylan Mulvaney. "The only time Capital respects opinions is when people boycott shit and it works, like this Bud Light thing, and now people are like, don't do that again," Rogan said during a recent episode of his podcast with Ice Cube, where explaining the backlash. According to Newsweek, take a brand like Bud Light. It's for blue-collar drinking people, and they like to watch football and drink Bud Light, and then all of a sudden you have this mentally ill person who's just an attention whore. Rogan further said on his episode with Ice Cube, Rogan also took aim at Target and other companies going woke as well. "I think it's an ESG thing, and Target lost billions of dollars because people are sick of this shit. They're sick of social things that are controversial getting stuffed into your face and where you have to accept it. And people are like, I don't want to accept it. I'm just here for the effing toilet paper." Rogan stated when talking about Target selling LGTB themed clothing, according to the same Newsweek report. Rogan and many others have had enough of the woke nonsense. People have truly had it with the woke garbage infecting society. People just want to be left alone, and they definitely don't want politics infecting their alcohol choices. No doubt, man. And all we want is just good products. We just want to be able to consume certain products that we want to consume, whether that's because of the actual product or because of the branding, like Bud Light, because let's be real, Bud Light was never actually that great of a product. It just had great branding. It was a very popular brand, so people bought it. But we just want to be able to consume the products that we want to consume without feeling like we're also consuming some sort of ideology, some sort of philosophy that we just don't agree with, and that honestly is just opposed to all of our world beliefs. But let's check out this other Joe Rogan clip where he talks about Dylan Mulvaney even more and calls him an attention whore once again.
There's like interviews with the lady who is the head of Bud Light talking about why they did it and about the old sort of frat culture attached to Bud Light, dismissing the people and like the humor of the people that like Bud Light. And so they're going to change that with this crazy attention whore. On day 365 of being a woman. I mean, we are in a fucking Coen Brothers movie. This is a Mike Judge movie.
You're 1,000% correct. Like, how does nobody else see what lunacy is going on?
We all see it. I mean, we see it. It's crazy to me that the companies don't see it, or maybe they just don't care. Maybe the ESG scores are really just that powerful. Maybe the funding from companies like BlackRock and Vanguard are just truly that much, more powerful than actual profit from their customers. Who knows? I guess we'll go into that in a different video. We discussed that a lot on live streams. I just don't want to go into it and take up time in this video. But here, real quick, one more story from the New York Post that says glass bottling plants forced to shut down, leaving 600 employees jobless amid Bud Light controversy. So in North Carolina, I believe, and Louisiana, glass bottling plants are forced to shut down, leaving 600 employees jobless. That really sucks, man, and that really hurts me to hear, because I don't want anybody losing their job, especially these innocent employees who had nothing to do with the Dylan Mulvaney ad campaign at all. Like there's literally nothing that they could have done to stop Bud Light from doing that. I'm sure that they all knew that it was stupid of them, but I guess it is a necessary evil of things like the Bud Light boycott. If there is anything that we can do to help them, if there's any sort of crowd fund that we can do, please let me know in the comments. I'm very willing to put some money towards that and also to promote it if there is anything that we can do. Let me know in the comments what you're thinking about Joe Rogan ripping Dylan Mulvaney apart, calling him an attention whore and mentally ill. Let me know what you're thinking about this whole Joe Rogan and Dylan Mulvaney situation.